Well, good evening once more. I am Akinsanmi Emmanuel. As you can see, I am both on the Voice of Faith radio and at the same time, I am doing the YouTube live. I want to tonight see how we can blend together so that I can have the same message going out the same time so that those of you that are our radio audience, you can actually get the same message at the same time. It's actually cold out there. I went out. I'm just coming in, and I, we had a good rainfall here today, and we thank God for the rains. Let us look at the wisdom for daily living today. It might be wonderful for you to. I want to pray that you should please help us to share this message to others by clicking the subscribe button where you are right now, and then also I want you that is there on the radio. You can get it on cloud radio, and you can also get it on simple radio. We are on both right now. So as I talk to you, we are doing the radio, all right, and at the same time we are doing the YouTube live. Praise the Lord. So let us get into the wisdom for today. What is the talk for today? Your understanding determines your experience. Your understanding determines your experience. Now, look at Proverbs chapter 4. It says, in all thy getting, verse 7, get wisdom. In all thy getting, get wisdom. If you're just joining us on the radio tonight, this is the Voice of Faith Radio Church. And as you can see, I'm just doing the two together. I'm on the YouTube live, and at the same time, I'm on the Voice of Faith Radio Church. Now, what has understanding got to do with our experiences? What has understanding got to do with our experiences? Now, I told you I just came in. Now, if I don't have an understanding about what I went to do, I just took a walk down the road because of the experiences that I was having. I'm a physical and health educator by training, and I'm a chaplain at the same time, a pastor. Do you understand? Now, I understand the basic things about how my body functions when it comes to the exercise physiology. Okay? Now, but you see, many times we leave so many things to chances, and then when we break down, we conclude it's either the devil or something else. But tonight I want to show you something. People generally, they look for who and what to attach their predicaments to. People look for who to attach their predicaments to. They either attach it to someone or they attach it to something. But in the real sense of it, I was feeling some, muscular pulls, okay, behind my knees, behind my thighs. And I know what to do, but I didn't do it. I met a doctor when I went for, my regular check. And then he told me, he said, any problem? I said, no. And then he asked me a couple of questions. I answered him. And all of a sudden, he said, okay, if there's no problem, then you need to tell us. I said, oh, except under my knees. He said, okay, you must have been sitting down for too long. And that's, this sedentary lifestyle is not good for you. Take a walk, do some exercises, and all of that. Now, and then take a lot of water. I take a lot of warm water in the morning and at night. Child of God, hear me today. The way we live our lives today on the face of the earth, I found out that God is not interested in us dying before our time. And that's why I taught on a subject yesterday on the radio. Is it the will of God for me to use medicine? Does God want me to use medication? Now, understanding, if you go into a doctor's office and he tells you you are having diabetes, you may not really. Or if he tells you, stop eating this, stop eating that, don't know, because it can cause you this problem. But if he tells you, we discover that you are having diabetes, and You may need to reduce your sugar intake. You may need to reduce this food, reduce that one. You will find it easy to take it, But if somebody tells you in another way, you may not, take it seriously. Now, what is understanding? Understanding is actually what keeps anything going or together. Understanding is what keeps anything going or together. Don't forget that. Understanding is what maintains anything that is going to keep going. Understanding is needed between friends. Understanding is needed between parents and children. Understanding is needed between husbands and wives. Understanding is needed between bosses and subordinates. Where you do not have understanding, now remove the misunderstanding. If you remove miss and you have understanding, what do you have? Flow, free flow. There will be free flow. It will be frictionless because there is what? Understanding. Lack of understanding is what leads to what? Quarrels, fightings, suspicions, mistrust, and all whatnot. But as a believer, as a child of God, when you understand certain things, when they begin to take place, there's a way you look at it and you just smile and walk away. When you hear people talk against you, talk about you, do certain things, and you don't really respond, sometimes people think that it's because you are a fool or because you are scared. I have a proverb in my dialect that the walking away gently or the tiptoeing of a lion is not that of fear. The tiptoeing of a lion in the forest, the gentle walk of a lion in the forest is not that of fear. It's a strategic one. Look at how big all other animals are. If it's by size, lion should not be the king of animals in the bush. But you know what? It's the animal that is the king of them all, the lion. Now, there are sometimes that you need to overlook some things. That is called understanding. When you overlook, it is understanding. It's a function of understanding. There are some things you don't even talk about. It is understanding. Are you still there? There are some issues you don't even make mention of. It is understanding. Because you know that it will not generate anything good other than strife. Do you understand what is going on now? So as a believer, there are times in your life, even ordinarily, that you just look at yourself. You say, look, I am more than this. I will not even react. I will not even respond to what the person is saying, and you take a walk. Now, when you take a walk, people who have no understanding will say, why not just react? He's talking to you that way. You heard what he said about you, and you decide that that's all right, leave him. Now, time has a way of, exposing things and has a way of revealing things that have happened and the reality. Say, oh, so this was the reason why this happened. Do you understand? There were some things that happened in the past that I didn't even know why they happened. I didn't even know what happened. I had an experience, a nasty and an ugly one in my life some years back. And about a year or two much later, the person came and said, sorry, sir. It was just so and so person that set you up and said, I should say this and say that. And I'm sorry, that was what happened. I said, oh, that's okay. And I still took it with a pinch of salt. You know why? Anything that happened in your past and you allow people to bring it into your present, I ask you, what is the use? Why are you entertaining the bad things that happened in your past, the bad things people said about you in the past, and you are allowing them to bring it to your what? To your hearing. And now, look at it. How would you explain that? What are you telling people? Are you still there? What do you want to explain to them? Now, what benefit is it? What good will that do to you? They are telling you of things that somebody said about you years ago, months ago. You did not even hear it. You did not even bother about it. But now they are telling you. He that repeated a matter separated friends. That's what the Bible says. He that repeated, a matter separated what? Friends. Friends of mine tonight. I want to say this to you before we leave. That understanding is the reason why you are going through whatever you are going through. If you don't show understanding, your experiences will continue to be the same. Understanding is what is responsible for your what? Experiences. Whether good or bad. I choose to understand. I choose to. So that's why when conflict is happening, look at this setup here. If I, before this guy, exposed me to all of this, all right, I didn't know anything about this thing before. I've never seen this particular software. But you see, with time, he began to show me, and there was a time I experienced serious conflict, serious problem. I didn't know exactly what to do. Now, you can imagine, look at that. He was showing me one time, they look like Greek and Hebrew to me. But gradually, as he exposed me to them, to these things, and then I began to study them, I began to experience certain things on my own, and then gradually, I began to what? To understand the way some features, work. Can I say this to you today? Whatever you don't understand today, don't criticize it. Whatever you don't understand now, don't criticize it. Whoever you don't understand now, don't criticize them. If you have not reached their level, don't criticize them. Because when you get there, it's when you say, oh, this is why they are doing what they are doing. Now, I'm doing two things together now. As I was coming on the road, he said, it's possible. Try it out. Now, I had some problems a few days back, and I tried on this, console here. I couldn't get it done until I waited again, and then I brainstormed inside of me. I said, but when it happened like this was what he did. Listen to me, child of God. The headache you're having, the problems you're having, the malice you're trying to keep because you heard what somebody said about you. One thing God has blessed me is that I don't ask people what I heard them said about me. I don't. I leave it for them, and I leave it to them. By the special grace of God, I don't have headache, and I don't use, painkillers because of another person's headache. Tonight, as a believer, what's your problem? The Bible talks about, rejoicing in the Lord always. What are the things that can steal your joy? They are the things you bring from the past to the now, and they are not profiting. What do? Throw them away, and let's move on. Do you understand? Move on. Now, if you don't have anybody to help you for now, make use of, like you can see, this is all I have, and I'm doing the best I can with it for the now. When God brings the next one, I move on to that one. It is understanding that makes me to be patient. It is understanding that makes me not to what? To be greedy. It's understanding that makes me not to be covetous. It's understanding that makes me not to be jealous and envious of what someone else has. Because I know my time will come. I always tell my friends that displayed their, whatever they had in those days, including traveling abroad, I always tell them, I am coming. Are you there tonight? You're frustrated. You're tired. You think God has forgotten. No. You know what the key is? Keep being faithful. Keep being faithful at what you are doing. Just stay at it. A pastor and a chaplain recommended someone to call me today that I should, a student of plant and animal science was asked, I think he's doing another course, and they said he should come to our school specifically to learn sex education. And I said, excuse me, why that particular course? They said, because we've talked with him before and we know that he can help you. I said, we don't give certificate on that. Now, people will know you when you stay committed to what you're doing. I said, I want to round up with this. It is wisdom. Stay with what you know until you are known. And if you stay long enough with people, you will know people. If you wait long enough, you will discover what you didn't discover. Now, people will know you with something. Now, if you don't stay with it long enough, how will they know you? So understanding will determine a lot. If you are the hasty type, you are the type that is not, patient, you will lose a lot of things. All right? When they say, come and take up a job, understanding, the job is 20,000 naira. You say, I went to school. I have BHC. I have this one. I have that one. And they say it's 20,000 we can pay for the beginning. Don't look at the money. Look at the connections. Look at the contacts. Look at the people that you will meet on the job. You will get much more than that. That could be a stepping stone. That could be a ladder. But some of you don't know. Your understanding is what we say, okay, let me start with it. Even all I will do with it is transport. At least I'm going out to start with. He said, no, don't just take that. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll wait till when. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it all of your life. You're saying you cannot take the 30,000. You can't take the 25,000. But you are still sitting down at home and you are begging, your parents for transport. You are begging your friends who are busy doing, maybe tricycle or keke business. You beg them for money for credit. You keep sending text. No, you get out there. Do you understand me? It's understanding that says, no problem. Though my beginning be small, but my ending will greatly increase. Well, I want to stop there tonight. Okay? And I believe that the understanding you get today